the combination of Trey's injury, Garoppolo's injury, whatever comes next, Tom Brady to the Niners is going to be a real topic, again, in the NFL this offseason.
One thing I noticed in Kyle talking this week is he said, when you watch Tom a couple years ago when he was a free agent, everyone's just like, he's 42, 43 years old. This can't keep happening. And he's like, well, when you watch him right now, he's as good as he's ever been. And he's hyping it up a little bit, but I also wondered, is he doing that on purpose? I am fully prepared for a story to be John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and Tom Brady break bread in early March or late February. They have a meeting over dinner.
In Mexico.
Mexico, Montana, Dallas. I don't know. Jupiter, Florida. Nothing will surprise me. I think it's on the table unless Tom retires and goes, I'm completely done. I'm going to Fox. It's over. I'm no more football, which, after a game like that last week, it felt like he was close before. And then that happened. You're like, I don't know. He obviously is a single guy. He doesn't have anyone to have to, beside his children, who I just saw one of his sons just had a birthday. Doesn't have to ask for permission anymore. It's got to be a pretty good feeling. 13 years of marriage, especially if the last 4 you haven't really liked her. And it's I don't have to ask anyone to do shit.
You do have to arrange, the kids. I don't think you're exactly just a completely unchained stallion. But
I mean more for if I want to play NFL football, I don't have to be like, honey, listen, I can still throw the out route. I don't think you understand. If people thought that you could still be on magazine covers, you would. I mean, what are we arguing over? But
fifth in the league in yards.
Do you expect him to play next year? Because I don't. I guess I'm kind of indifferent. I don't know.
I don't know. But
what would your guess? Because I think my guess is he retires, but I don't know why I think that.
He's 45, and he said he wanted to play till he's 45. He's doing that. I don't know if they don't miss. They're going to make the playoffs. If it ends badly, if it ends well, I don't know that really changes anything. I tend to think that the better they play, the more likely he is to come back, right? If he goes to the NFC Championship game in some crazy way, it's almost harder to walk away when you're right there, when you still got it.
Someone DM me that they're not a lot. If they were to lose this week, they'd be 6-7, and the Panthers, if they were to win, they'd be 5-8, and it'd just be that division. I mean, they're obviously Atlanta. They beat them, but it's not. They don't have some 3-game lead for a team that's not very good. Now the other teams suck too. They should make the playoffs. It'd be pretty. If they didn't make the playoffs, that would be pretty nuts. They'd probably lose out, right, or go 1-4 down the stretch.
6-6, does that make it more likely or less likely he comes back?
Yeah, I think it's hard because I think in Tom's mind this season has been a disaster regardless, right? He's not used to being 6-6. I mean, when's the last time Tom Brady's been 6-6?
I think it's hard to go. I think it's so easy to go both ways. It's hard to go out that way. So I don't know. I think I'm probably a little over 50-50.
He's looking a little weird, I think, for the first time. I noticed it in his last week when he walked out to the field or on Monday. He's looking
a little old too.
The kind of feels like he's got the actor thing going where he's getting the cosmetic surgery. It's just maybe going through a little midlife crisis.
Yeah, could be.
Do you want a midlife crisis guy with Kyle? Would that work?
I mean, how many times can you say no to the guy? How many times
have
can
you bet against
no once? You bet against him because you're like, eventually we'll be right. Eventually he will be too old and he won't have anything left. Right.
Well, because if you did bet against him, and I'd be for betting against him.
The question is, what does it cost you to bet against him? If you're like, well, Trey's not really healthy yet, but Jimmy's not going to be back. What does it cost us to make Tom Brady the starter for one more year as Trey Lance continues to, develop or whatever?
Well, if Tom Brady has, let's say the 49ers, he came to the 49ers and was their starting quarterback and they were good. They won the division. I would say, even though it's Tom Brady and he has obviously accomplished more than any quarterback more than likely will ever accomplish, it would be pretty nuts. A 46-year-old just keeps kicking ass. Are we just numb to this? Because I thought this year, when you watch Tampa, he has looked at times as pedestrian as he's ever looked.
But that's how I felt his last year in New England. That's how
I
the
would say
Niners felt.
he wants no part of getting hit, which you could argue is a good thing. Why would he? He'd get injured if he gets hit. But I wouldn't be in the business. Now you could be like, well, when are you ever going to be in this situation again? You're never messing with 46-year-olds ever again, right? This is a unique outlier situation that's just a one-off. He's Tom fucking Brady. If he's interested, which I'm not as confident that he would be. Clearly, when you see him light up, like home's home, and his parents still live here. Obviously, the brand matters to him in terms of like maybe he's sappy. Maybe he knows how cool it would be for his dad.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just a lock, though.
I agree with you.
I also think the offense in a weird way, and I'm critical sometimes with Kyle, like, and just coaches in general, they got to adapt. But like Kyle's offense is what works. I mean, it's been successful, and it's what kind of makes him worth the value of having him as a head coach. And Tom is not a scheme fit because he can't move.
But he does get the ball out quick, which would also work, and he can throw the ball down the field, which the Niners can't do.
But the threat of the run, the boots and stuff would not exist, and that's a huge part of the offense. It's why
but Kyle creates all kinds of misdirections and confusion with all kind of pre-snap movements and multiple backs and fullbacks and running backs in the backfield and wide receivers split out next to behind the tight end and all that kind of stuff.
Just have a quarterback room then of Tom, re-sign Jimmy, Purdy, and Trey.
You could have a quarterback room that's a 46-year-old and a 22-year-old.
Yes.
Right? Trey's 21 or 22.
Purdy's 22 too.
How old is Trey?
21, 22.
Well, I was thinking the Niners have two quarterbacks who are hurt this year. Think about this. Tom Brady at 45 years old is healthy. The Niners have two quarterbacks. Jimmy is 31, right? And Trey is 22, or Jimmy's 32 and Trey's 21, something like that.
Yeah, Trey's 22,
and Jimmy's 31. So the two of them combined are what, 6 years older than Tom? And they're the ones that are hurt. He's 22 years old and 31 years old. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo combined are 53 years old.
Tom
is 45. Tom's the healthy one, and those two guys are hurt. Why? Because they run. Tom doesn't. I looked it up. Not only is Tom the fastest to release in the NFL, the football, he has scrambled twice this year.
You want me to read off from 2002?
Got hurt running. Tom doesn't run. Tom gets rid of the football. He is almost the age of the two of them combined, yet he's the healthy one.
Guy for 20 years. I just pulled up Tom's Football Reference. I'm going to remove his ACL season, where he obviously started the one game, missed the entire season. From 02 to 07, 16 for 16 every fucking year. Obviously didn't miss a game, never missed playoffs. From 09 to 15, 16 of 16 every single year. 2016, remember, Rodgers suspended him. Fully healthy. 12 of 12, though. Came right back, starts every game, and pretty sure they won the Super Bowl that year. Then after that season, not suspended anymore, the rest of his New England career, 16 to 16, 16 to 16, 16 to 16, goes to Tampa, 16 to 16. Last year, 17 to 17. This year, 12 to 12. He's never missed a fucking game beside the ACL season and when Rodgers suspended him. He's 45. You could argue, I don't think we give that like probably enough credit for how durable. Like he's a Cal Ripken level. You remove the ACL season. I mean, this guy never misses a game. Ever. I mean, Peyton Manning missed a season. Like I allow you, if you have a 20-year career, one season, it's football. But then like there should be several. Like if you look at Roethlisberger's pages, you'd be like, oh, he missed 3 games here. This year he missed 2. Like that's pretty normal for his career, right? This guy just plays. If he's on your team, it would be a statistical outlier for him to miss games.
Yeah, even Rodgers, who really doesn't miss games, has missed.
Well, he's had a clavicle. He's had a concussion. I mean, he's been hurt.
I don't know. He had 2 in 10 and 11. He played in 15 games, but they were good that year. So that might have been just a week, the last week of the season sitting. Like one of the years he went 14-1. He probably just sat at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Or did they lose?
I would imagine he sat.
But he played 7 games in 17. He played 9 games in 13. Again, if you extremely healthy, 4 straight years of 16 games, preceded by an injured season, 6 years of 16 games, preceded by an injured season, preceded by basically 5 full seasons by Rodgers.
Tom is a durable dude, man.
Yeah.
Maybe if he wants in, you crazy. Just
durable, but also avoid situations in which quarterbacks get hurt by being immobile. Counterintuitive, can't run away from anybody. But guess what? Most quarterbacks can't run away from anybody. The key is to not try. That's the thing that Peyton always knew.
What would you say if Tom Brady signed with the 49ers, their allotment for primetime games would be when the schedule came out? Maxed?
The max. I mean, they get the max anyway.